அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். லக்ஷ்மிக்குங்கிற நிகழ்ச்சி நினைச்சாலே சிரிப்பாக இருக்குது. ஆனால் தான் நாங்கள் இன்றைக்கி ஒரு ஒழுங்கான இன்ட்ரோ இல்லாமல் நேரடியாக நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு போகலாம்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஏனெண்டா நாங்கள் குஜாலா இருப்போம், சில்லா காய்ப்போம்னு சொன்னாலே இந்த பிள்ளை சிரிக்க தொடங்குது.
என்னை வச்சு காமெடி பண்ணாமல் இருந்தால் ஓகே.
பார்த்தா நீங்கள் தான் எங்களை வச்சு காமெடி பண்ணுறீங்க போல இருக்கு.
இட்ஸ் ஓகே. இருந்தாலும் இதுக்கு முதல்ல இன்ட்ரோ போயிருக்கும் தானே. ஸோ இது விட
போயிருக்குமா?
என்று நம்புவோம்.
Anyways, welcome back to another episode of குஜாலா இருப்போம்,
சில்லா கதைப்போம்.
இன்றைக்கு யார் இருக்கிறான்னு சொன்னால் நாங்கள் எல்லாரும் அன்பா டீச்சர் அம்மா என்று அழைக்கக்கூடிய லக்ஷ்மி சிவனேஸ்வரலிங்கம்.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Been a while.
Yeah.
I'm good.
நான் டீச்சர் அம்மாண்ட உடனே நீங்கள் நினைச்ச அந்த குடையை வச்சுக்கொண்டு காதில் ஒரு ரோஜா பூ சரி கொண்டு சுற்றி கொண்டு பழைய படங்கள்ல வர
இந்தியாவில் என்ன அப்படி தான் போயிருப்பான்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பட்
பொட்டெல்லாம் வச்சுட்டு சாரி எல்லாம் கட்டிட்டு.
எனிவேஸ், ஸோ இன்னைக்கு என்ன செய்ய போகிறோம்?
ஒரு நேர்காணல். இது லைவ் இல்லைன்னு உரையாடல்.
So this is not going to be like the formal way how we usually do it. நீங்க இப்போ இசைய ஆரம்பிச்சு நீங்க ஏன் பாடுறீங்க, ஏன் இது செய்றீங்க அது செய்றீங்கன்னு இல்லாம it's just like casually how we usually chit chat, like அந்த ஒரு ரேஞ்சில். And then also we want to find out what is Lakshmi doing currently. Right, we all know what you have been doing, but obviously there was some sort of silence for a bit, and then we want to obviously know like what has happened since that, or what are you currently doing and stuff like that, right? So, but obviously we're going to talk about the past, right? That as well.
Let's dig the past.
So,
what do you want?
I'm not going to ask her. So நீங்க எப்போ இசைய ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டீங்க? அது எல்லாரும் சின்ன வயசுல ஆரம்பிக்கிறது, எல்லாரும் பல வருஷம் படிக்கிறது, எல்லாரும் அரங்கேற்றம் செய்யணும், எல்லாட்டிக்கு நிறைய நிகழ்ச்சியில் பாடினோம், எல்லாட்டிக்கு ஏதாவது காம்படிஷனில் பங்கு பெற்றினோம். So that's how I met Lakshmi.
அப்படி எப்போ ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணோம்னா you start at 3 years old, right?
Yeah. Because
just a brief.
Yeah, I think Amma and Appa noticed that I really liked music, and so எல்லாரும் பண்ற மாதிரி we started off with Carnatic training, and that led to somewhere else, and here we are today.
Fast forward to 30 years now. Not that long, but yeah.
ஐயோ வயசெல்லாம் சொல்லக்கூடாது.
என்ன சும்மா சொன்னேன், என்ன நினைச்சு சொன்னேன்.
Okay.
So yeah, but I said
சொன்னதையும் அவர் சொன்னதையும் வச்சு நீங்க கூட்டி பாத்தீங்கன்னா வந்துரும்.
Anyway, so I just briefly mentioned I met Lakshmi through a competition. Right? We were like competitors. So இல்ல
No.
Okay.
ஏன் அவர் உங்களோட லெவலுக்கு இல்லன்னு சொல்ல வரீங்களா?
இல்ல
அதுவும் இல்லதான்.
நான் அப்படியெல்லாம் சொல்லல.
இல்ல நானே சொல்றேன், வேற யாரும் சொல்றதுக்குள்ள நானே சொல்றேன்.
It's not like that ever. Steven was judging.
அந்த judging என்ற பேர்ல ஒரு தெரிந்தானே.
He was giving us guidance.
நானும் பிரின்ஸ்டனும் சும்மா லூசுக்கு கூத்து விளையாடினாங்க. அதே நேரம் எங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்ச கொஞ்சம் மியூசிக் சம்மந்தப்பட்ட விஷயங்களையும் அதில் பாய்ந்து கொண்டு நாங்கள். That was a fun journey.
It was.
And and like I said, I always tell this guy too, like this one person that never changes, like in appearance and also like personality wise, one person that never changed in the past. I would say, when was that? 13 years ago?
Yeah.
When was Superstar?
2000. Oh my God.
It was 12, right?
11,
12. Yeah. Wow. My God, I was like 13 years ago.
Wow.
And I think a full circle moment for me was when I took over or took his role as vocal trainer once.
Yeah.
And then it
that
was
was a
just
fun thing.
nice to see.
There was one episode where we were sitting together and judging. That was, I think, season 4 or something it was, right? So that was pretty cool. And because like I was on the judging panel and she was like competing in that competition.
And then to sit together and do that together, it's like a
awesome.
wholesome moment.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
That also shows how old I am now.
To the calculation.
Yeah. But நாங்கள் முந்தியில் நிறைய விஷயங்கள் எல்லாம் கதைக்கிற நேரத்தில் also like we just off camera talked about I asked you like when is the last time I did an interview with you. Obviously like after the one breakthrough you had, we had like an interview then, but the first formal one was for சங்கமம் என்ற நிகழ்ச்சியில் டிடியில் ஹோஸ்ட் பண்ண நிகழ்ச்சியில் அதில் நீங்கள் ஒரு கெஸ்ட்டாக வந்திருந்தீங்க. That was I believe 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that.
Way before,
it was like 2000 15ish 16ish அப்படி அந்த ரேஞ்சில் நான் அது இருந்துருக்கோம் நினைக்கிறேன். So so there was one question I asked you, what is like the ultimate goal?
He remembers
Yeah.
everything.
What is like the ultimate goal you have, like that you want to achieve in music and stuff? அப்போ அதில் பொதுவாக எல்லா டைம் ஒரு பதிலாக இருக்கிறது வந்து ஒரு படத்துக்கு நான் பாடணும், ஒரு பிளேபேக் சிங்கராக நான் வரணும், அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒரு படத்துக்காவது பாடணும். And then the next question is, who would you want to sing for? And then obviously everybody's answer would always be like, oh, A.R. Rahmanuku naan kandipa paadina. That would be like a wholesome moment. And then I'm like accomplished kind of thing. Why I'm saying this, you obviously know why.
Did I say that?
என்னது
அப்படியா சொன்ன?
அப்படியே சொன்னீங்க.
எனக்கு தெரியும்.
Accomplished in நீங்க சொல்லல. What I'm trying to say is, because if you ask what is the ultimate goal, and that is your ultimate goal, once you reach that, then technically you're accomplished, right? Because if you don't know what else you can do beyond that, then that is like your ultimate goal. So technically the conclusion is, okay, then as an artist you feel accomplished, right? So obviously there's a reason why I'm saying all of this, right? One fine day, girl called me and said like, Steven, guess what? I'm like, what? So then like D Iman messaged you and asked you to send some demos and stuff, and you shared that with me, right? And then then the next exciting call came. It's like, yeah, I'm going to India and stuff like that, right? So that's how Sendura happened and stuff. And there's also like a funny story to that after you came back, right? We'll talk about it. Don't worry.
Oh no.
This is just like
she's
you know
like, which
I don't
one?
remember. He's listing
we can
things
tell
and
from
I'm
your
sitting
face.
here like,
Wait,
what
which
is he
one?
talking about?
So if guys, I'm not making anything up. She just forgot, okay? But if I make something up, she will tell you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Steven அப்படியே நடக்கவே இல்லைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Anyway,
It's
so
kind of
that
interesting.
call happened though.
That call did happen.
Okay, good. So yeah. So I don't look like a complete loser.
No.
Okay. Anyway, so நீங்க அப்ப இந்தியாவுக்கு போய் இந்த செந்துரா பாட்டையும் பாடிட்டு வந்தீங்க. அண்ட் ஆப்வியஸ்லி அது சம்மந்தப்பட்ட உங்களுடைய எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து நீங்கள் நிறைய இடங்கள்ல அது ஷேர் பண்ணியிருக்கிறீங்க. ஸோ ஜஸ்ட் கூகுள் லக்ஷ்மி சிவனேஸ்வரலிங்கம் அண்ட் ஆல் யூ கேன் யூடியூப் her and you can watch those interviews. We not gonna அரைச்சமாவை நாங்கள் திருப்பி அரைக்கல.
I do have to take this opportunity and எப்பவுமே I think I'd be grateful to Iman sir for sharing or opening that door for me and giving me that opportunity, showcasing my voice to the world, because adula irundhan like evlo chances and vanduchu, right? So forever I will always be grateful to sir for giving me that. So thank you sir.
That's the one thing obviously we will always repeat and we always have to repeat, right? அப்பயும் நாங்க வந்த பாதையை மறக்க கூடாது. நிறைய பேர் அதை மறக்கிறதால தான் திடீர்னு காணாம போயிடுவீங்க. So you have to always like travel on memory lane and remember, okay, who helped me to get where I am, or who did I work with to get to where I am and stuff like that. So இப்படியான விஷயங்களை வந்து நாங்கள் அப்போ நினைவு கூறணும். அண்ட் அப்படி நினைவு கூறைக்கும் தான் இப்போ நாங்கள் நிறைய விஷயம் கதைக்க வரைக்கும் நீங்களே யோசிப்போம், ஓ யா இதெல்லாம் நாங்கள் செய்தனாங்க, I did all these things, and then you will understand also you accomplished quite a bit in the field, right? So sometimes we just neglect that, or we think about what we didn't achieve and we're like more busy being frustrated with that rather than thinking about, okay, how much did I already achieve though, right? And I think moments like this, like podcasts like this or interviews like this, that helps us to remember who we are, right? And reflect, exactly. So you, like you said, I wanted to like talk about that a little more, like all these opportunities that you got afterwards and stuff, like, so obviously to my question back then, almost 10 years back, like what's the ultimate goal, one of the goals was like, I want to sing for A.R. Rahman. Even that happened, right? And that's something I think that's even like something we have to like completely be in awe, because man always like is very picky who he picks to work with and stuff like that.
I think that call came at the least expected time also. I was in Chennai and it just happened. A lot of my experiences just happened. It's like,
so it happened while you were in
I was there. Sir wasn't in the recording. I was doing it with like the studio engineers, but I think at the back of the mind, back of your mind, you always want to do your best because it's associated with Rahman sir's name and his film. And it was also in Malayalam. I don't speak Malayalam. Like, I remember calling Amma after, and I was like, Amma, that was so stressful. But again, it was a very humbling moment, a lot to learn, a lot to take away. Yeah.
I mean, அந்த நேரத்தில் நிறைய நுணுக்கங்களை நாங்கள் படிப்போம், right? So for example, okay, when we go back to your recording with the Iman, right? So when you sang Sendura and stuff like that, I remember you telling me you had like a lot of stressful moments, like with the lyricist, with Tamari, right? So that because she would like obviously be there.
I think you have to be more mindful about how you pronounce certain things, and
அது நாங்க வந்து ஒருத்தருமே அந்த மூன்று லானாவையும் வந்து ஒழுங்கா சொல்றாதாக்கள், right? So and then obviously அப்படியான வார்த்தைகள் வந்துச்சுன்னா then that's obviously going to be even more tricky because they're going to be very adamant that is differentiated the
but
right
again
way.
I think I took the learning from that, and then it's you apply it to everything that comes after, and being able to adapt and mold yourself into those scenarios and situations, that's I guess being put into those stressful moments, you learn a lot from that when you reflect and think back. So
Exactly.
Again,
have you decided to learn other languages?
நீங்க சொல்லி தரீங்களா?
அது தெரிஞ்சா நான் ஏன் இப்படி இருக்கேன். Have you tried to learn
French man சொல்லி தரேன்.
Have you tried to learn Malayalam though afterward? So like this
கொஞ்சம் here and there, but
please.
I think my friends will be like, we did it.
But you can kind of understand when they speak. If they don't speak too fast, you can actually understand. But it's so hard to like attempt to like talk it, right? Because also like
what do they say? Kurichi.
I would be more scared about the pronunciations because they will like bash you for that.
Yeah.
Right? You don't get something right, they will like bash you and tell you like
சொல்ல போய் வேற மாதிரி முடிஞ்சு. Yeah, we don't want that.
தெரிஞ்ச பாஷை ஒழுங்கா காய்ச்சிட்டு பேசாம இருக்கும். Anyway, so like we just spoke about the recordings, like you had obviously a lot of learning points there, right? So in terms of like how to pronounce the language properly, adukka inja nanga pronounce pannama irukela endilla, but it's like it's a different ball game when it comes into
for the film especially industry,
right? Yeah. So you just said like for the recording you did that was Cobra, right? Yeah. So Cobra படத்துக்கு நீங்க செய்த recording வந்து AR sir was not there. But did you get a chance to meet him afterwards?
I didn't, but still, even then, you're still waiting for that final approval of will Sir say yes or not, right? Because you know how it works in this industry. Like, Inika, you'll sing a song, tomorrow you don't know if it'll come out in someone else's voice. So anxiously waiting for that approval. And the fact that Sir would have even listened to that and know of this girl,
you already been in his radar. That's why he called you. So obviously he already knows that you're capable. So obviously another cool thing about Luksimi is like it's not only you only mentioned the Carnatic training, you obviously also trained in Western, and coming back to your school life, why don't you reveal some stuff about that?
I studied voice performance at the University of Toronto, and I focused in opera. And Steven came to my recital, so he knows. My final year.
Was not just me, a whole bunch of us went.
Yeah, the entire gang came. That's another side of life. But again,
but I think that's also like I would say like what gave you those opportunities, because you are like trained both ways.
And I think one of my biggest things is how can I take all the genres that I've learned, and you're not creating your own style, but it's like that unique factor to who Luksimi is, right? Like if Shreya Ghoshal sings this way and Jonita Gandhi sings this way, what is Luksimi's sound? What is Luksimi's identity? And that's what I'm trying to explore now.
நீங்க யோசிச்சு வந்துருக்கீங்க அந்த
No,
கேள்வி
I was
இருக்கு
just thinking, so you also did Bharatanatyam too, right?
I did.
So are you still
She still
I am
is
very much still dancing.
Nice.
I really love that part of life. I remember Steven asked me before, so is it dance or is it music? I'm like, why can't I do it?
Why can't you both?
I'm still actively training also.
அப்ப பாடி கொண்டு ஆடுவீங்களா?
இல்ல அதெல்லாம் இல்ல.
கமலஹாசன் இல்ல, அது கலைக்கும். Nice.
Sorry guys, why am I dying? ஐயோ
யாரோ திட்டுறாங்க.
அது பக்கத்துல இருந்து தான் வர்ற
இல்ல இது லைஃபா இல்லையே, யார் திட்டுறாங்க? ஐயோ sorry guys. Okay,
இதெல்லாம் like cut பண்ணி போடுவீங்களா?
Maybe we'll think about
நாங்கள்
it.
ஒன்றுமே கட் பண்ணுறீங்க. We are just like எங்களோட தலைவர் டாக்டர் திவாகர் மாதிரி. தெரியுமா யாருன்னு? இன்ஸ்டாகிராமில் போய் பாருங்க டாக்டர் திவாகர் யாருன்னு சொல்லி. அவர் எல்லாமே
இதில் ஒரு படம் வைக்க போகிறேன்.
அவர் எல்லாமே வந்து ஒன் ஷாட்டில் தான் செய்வார். There's no cuts and no nothing. அது மாதிரி தான் நாங்கள் அதுதான் நாங்கள் ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறோம்.
Okay.
So even if we screw up something, he
Oh,
just
boy.
he will just keep going. Okay, yeah, you can continue now.
Were we? Yeah, so I'm still dancing. I was learning Buna for quite some time, and
She plays the piano too.
I do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but again, like I think my parents have been so supportive from my younger age, and they came to a point where they understood how much the arts or how much music meant to me. And Ada Tadakavena will just support her in whatever she wants to do. But I still remember the one thing that Appa said. He said, you know, I don't know how to help you if when you come to choosing your career or like what you're going to do in music. So if you're going to study this, we'll support you in whatever you have to do, but you have to find your own opportunities and your own job. But still, I am so grateful for all the support and the trust that they had in me.
So you see, kids are வளரக்குளுக்கு வந்து parents they'll try to push everything into them, like okay, do this, do that. I remember my cousins, so we run them every single classes. I'm like, how do you guys do?
I had a schedule like that too. At one point, I was playing soccer, I was doing ballet, I was doing all these instruments.
But you were enjoying doing that.
I was enjoying it. That's one thing. But if I look back, the amount of time that I spent with like friends or cousins, like I would have lost so much of that family time or that socializing period, because every weekend or every day after school there was something going on, right? And now I sit back and I reflect on that, and it's like, okay, those are the things I sacrificed to be where I am today, right?
But no regrets, right? So
I don't know if there's no regrets. Obviously at the back of my mind I feel that, but now that I'm older and I know how to balance that, right, all the important elements of my life, I think I'm doing a better job at leading everything.
Wow.
But like you said, so when you get older, obviously you can set your own priorities, right? But in the time when you are like learning, you kind of have no option, right? There's no way of being like, oh yeah, I have to go chill with my cousin, so let me cut class.
Or even now, like I have a goal in my mind, right? And adakaha, I'm not saying that I'm like purposely neglecting people or like cutting things out of my life, but it's like, what do I have to do to achieve that goal, right? Or work towards what I'm doing. So it gets hard, especially with like a full-time job and then coming home and doing the music and the dancing. It's some days it takes a toll, but I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. I very much enjoy the process and the learning and the creating, but it does get tiring.
But that now you work with a lot of kids. So do they any kids talk to you about this? Like,
I'm actually surprised. So I used to teach older kids, and now I teach 7-year-olds, but they know who I am. Like I don't say, oh, Miss Siva sings, or like I don't go in with any of that. I want them to just like me, or you know, build that rapport with me for who I am as their teacher. And they'll be like, Miss Siva, I saw your Instagram video. I'm like, you're 7 years old. Where did you
Why do you have Instagram?
Why are you watching that? But they don't have, I think at that age they're so innocent, they look at it with such an inspirational mind. It's like, well, that's my teacher, she's singing this song, that's my favorite song, right? It's very heartwarming to see that.
So how did you get into the teaching part of life now? So you say, that's why I mentioned we call her teacher Amma just for fun. Right?
I think I give that side of life, like I give credits to my elementary school music teacher. I really looked up to her because when I was younger, she gave me a safe space to share everything that I was doing outside of school. In university, it wasn't like that, unfortunately. There was a time where they asked me to choose. Are you going to do your cultural music and your cultural focus on your cultural learnings, or are you going to do the Western side of music? But she gave me that space to share things of Carnatic music or like talk about my performances and all that. And I kind of want to give my kids a space like that. I want to learn with them. You know, I want them to grow and see them grow and create those responsible citizens of society. So it sounds so cheesy, but I really like being around kids. I think it makes me feel happy. It makes me feel forever young.
Well, you still look the same. That's what I said. Like
Yeah.
when I met her like 13 years ago, she still looks the same. She still talks the same way. Still so gullible. Like things don't change. Things don't change. But yeah, Lakshmi is definitely one of the people that I met in my life that didn't change at all. And yeah, because I know how old she is. I know even in 20 years from now, she will still be the same. Right? Hopefully still look the same too then.
I'm hoping so. But it's so, as a teacher, when you see like the successes or that child growing and going through those stages of life or through their education, it's a nice feeling that you're part of that journey in whatever small way, right? And I look back and I'm so grateful to all the teachers or all the mentors and everyone that's been part of my life who've shared some knowledge with me, because that is helping me or has shaped me to be who I am today in some way.
So you, outside of school, you're obviously also teaching Carnatic music as well, right?
I'm not focusing on Carnatic, but I'm doing like vocal
Voice
training and
training and
yeah.
So you're doing that as well. Obviously, that's like in all age ranges as well. So how do you enjoy that? And
I think that job comes with some demands on its own. I mean, because you are also training, teaching. It's not that I don't enjoy it. Sometimes I find it challenging because they have some expectations and or a time frame kulla, they need to see those goals of theirs.
Enjoy பண்ணேங்க அது வந்துடும். ஸோ இப்போ வந்து ஸ்டேஜில் ஒரு இது இப்போ வந்து முதலாவது கவர் ரிலீஸ் பண்ணலாம். சார் முதல்ல கிளாஸுக்கு வாங்க அதுக்கு பிறகு நாங்கள் பார்ப்போம்.
Didn't come out of my mouth. I'm kidding. But it's like, it comes with its own challenges. But again, it makes me think quite a bit, right? So all the techniques or strategies that I learned in university, and if someone is going through like a hiccup or a challenge, then it gives me a space to kind of research or look further into how can I support them or what strategies can I use with them.
No, that's the nice part of the job,
but
right?
I think like as an artist, it's a forever learning journey. Like the learning never ends, right? It's interesting. I was talking to someone recently and they're so shocked. It's like, you're still taking Carnatic lessons, or you're still going to a vocal coach, or you're still learning Bharatanatyam. Like, how come the learning hasn't ended? But it doesn't end. There's like an ocean of things to learn.
Right? You have to keep on updating yourself.
It doesn't matter how old you are or how many years you have been learning. That's something that will never end, right? So you have to keep learning. There's always something new that you can learn. Even like by teaching, sometimes the kids come up with some cool ideas and you understand like, oh shit, I never thought of this. So this is
or like
a more
from their
effective
perspective. Exactly.
Right? Sometimes you find like a different way to teach other kids where you were struggling. Okay, they're putting on then another kid gives you that idea because they tell you, can't I do this? Right? And then you learn in a different way. So something else what I want to ask you is, because we are talking about teaching and all those things. So when you were younger, right, were you ever bullied for whatever you were doing? And so when people saw like your content, or they saw like, okay, she danced at this event or she sings at this event, were you ever bullied?
I think yes, because for them it's like, oh, she's not listening to like the typical hip hop, rap, pop music that we listen to on the radio. And not that I wasn't, right? It's like veetla vandu the first thing you are exposed to is like our traditional cultural music or our film songs or like the albums and things like that. So that was my first exposure to music. If you ask me, my favorite song is still Chikkabukkuraile. And then as I started going to school or I started listening to music with my friends and my cousins, then it's like, okay, music also has this, right? But you kind of take the energy of what people give off and you take that to do better, or you want to learn more, or it's like you want to prove who you are. So turn it into something good. So why I brought up the bullying is because I feel like, okay, so obviously when I was younger, it's a completely different time from when you were younger, right? So then now the era we are living in now is completely different. Yeah, like, I think now everyone appreciates that diverseness that you have to offer. Like even at school, if we have an opportunity to listen to music, or I teach my own music with my homeroom class, I get them to share what they're listening to at home, or I get them to talk about the instruments that they are learning, and they feel so seen and they love to share, right? And that's the opportunity that my elementary school teacher gave me. So I love to see the shift and the change that's happening right now.
What difference do you see? I mean, you've been teaching like grade 8s as well, and now it's grade 2. But what difference do you see? Like, okay, grade 8 is obviously the next step will be high school.
Yeah.
But I feel like as much as you say people like the diversity and stuff, I hear a lot from my high school students. There's a lot of bullying happening. So when they come, they're so enthusiastic to get their covers done, and then we get it produced and we put it out. And then a week later or something, they will come back and be like, is it possible to take it down? Because someone found it, and then they play it like in their hallways and then start bullying them and stuff like that. And I feel that is more extreme now than it was when we were kids.
But I think social media, like understanding the appropriate use of social media, and obviously everyone has their insecurities. Sometimes they turn that around and they take it out on you. And one of the things that I speak heavily about is social media is such a great tool, but how are you going to use that appropriately or in a way that is not going to hurt anyone, right? And that is a constant conversation that I have with the older kids that I teach too, because whatever you put out on the internet will stay on the internet.
Forever.
You never know when it's going to come and haunt you, right? So
So how do you think you could like tackle that? Like, let's say like you teach high school, and you have like some of your students who come out and they are so
you're difficult on academy.
but you're a teacher, so this is something I can ask you,
Yeah.
right? Because you eventually will see this a lot too, right? I don't know if you ever decide to go some grades up, and then you probably will deal with some of these things. And I feel like it's not only necessarily high school too. I sometimes have like some grade 6, 7 kids as well. They come and be like, is it possible to take this specific cover
But
out?
I think I haven't had those kinds of circumstances, but like I've had kids who come and tell me that like my just looking at my page is like an inspiration to them, or like you find my page and then you find other singers in our community, right? And that's someone else to look up to for them. It's like, okay, this person is doing it, they feel so proud about who they are and their identity, so I can do it too. And I think the more we continue to kind of showcase in that positive light, I'm hoping that that'll create a change in their mind as well.
What I try to do sometimes is like for those kids especially, I just take them to my pages. I show them, okay, look, there's this hater messaging thing. I didn't delete it.
And I think we've grown up seeing that too, right? You go on your journey, there's going to be positive comments, there's going to be negative comments. And I'm not saying the negative is not going to hurt us. I've had days when I've sat there and cried. It's like, oh, this person said this. This person didn't like my cover. This person said this about my film songs. But again, as you grow and as you do more things, that also will come. And that's something that I learned with patience. I'm not saying she's attained this stage where she just blocks it all out, and it does hurt, but like, you know, you have your support system with you, and they always try to cheer you up and keep you in the positive mindset.
That's what I try to do with the little ones. I just tell them, you like to do this, just do it. They bully you because they don't have a special talent, so they take it out on you. They can't do it. So just go and ask them, do something useful and then show me. And if it's better than mine, then I'll stop. Why don't you try that approach? You have to, because you have to build their confidence. A lot of kids lose their confidence. I have even kids that come and tell me, I want to do the covers, but I don't want to do videos. I don't want to put it out. I just want to keep it for myself. It's like, okay, so then you might as well just stay home and just sing on your own. You don't need to do this then.
But I think on the other side, once the pandemic hit also, a lot of people use that as an opportunity to explore that side of content creation and use it to their benefit, right?
Because a lot of times what we do, the mistake we make is like, we have a huge wall like this, the whole wall is shit. But that's not what it is, right? Like 99.9% of the wall is awesome and perfect. It's just that one thing, and that's the same with those negative comments.
And I also, the part of like being so stuck on like the numbers side of social media, because you never know when you are going to be found or when you're going to be discovered. Like mine just happened out of nowhere, right? You can post a cover today or a photo or something today, and like down the line in a month or two, maybe that's going to be that breaking point that changes everything for you, right? This is
now the perfect transition. That's obviously the next thing I wanted to talk to you about. Because now social media is obviously a tricky space, right? And it's not always about talent.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes not so talented people get more recognition. Sometimes like super talented people, they don't get any reach at all. They have like a really hard time even getting to like 50 likes.
Yeah.
Right. Or they don't even get to the 1,000 views. And then there's people, they do some random shit and get like millions of views and stuff like that. Right. Sometimes it's just like literally they look at the camera, have a song running, and they post that and it gets like millions of views.
I mean, now, they're doing something, right?
They're doing something, exactly. Something that's working for them.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's also for the wrong reasons, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But see now, in terms of your content and stuff like that, you are frequently posting something. And Luksimi singing in other languages more too these days.
I'm telling you guys, I love to sing in other languages. That's just, I don't know. It's such
I see a lot of Hindi now. I see a lot of other languages. So, like, not even Tamil is not even the main focus anymore. So, which is not a bad. I'm not saying it as a bad thing. What I'm saying is actually cool. No, but it's cool though. It's cool. You mentioned that earlier too, that you're like exploring that too as well. And then obviously you never know. Rahman sir called you and wanted you to sing in Malayalam. You don't know who's going to call you.
That was the first time ever a different language?
No, before that I sang Iman sir. I actually sang in Telugu.
Telugu, right?
Yeah. And then in between I sang for Hesham sir in Malayalam and Telugu. So, and then Cobra happened. Yeah.
Nice.
See, so you never know. Maybe someone else is going to call us and be like, okay, hey, can you come? And we have this Hindi song for you.
Yeah.
So that, obviously it's good to be prepared for them and they see that content as well. And then, I don't know too much about the pronunciations. When I listen to it, it sounds very legit to me. It's like, oh shit.
I'm sure someone can find a flaw, but we're learning, guys.
Like a native speaker obviously will definitely find something. But the other thing is also, we tolerate other people butchering our language more than them tolerating us butchering
I really like to learn other languages, and I have very supportive friends that I can go back to them again and again and be like, hey, can you just listen to this before I post this tomorrow? If not, I'll fix it, right? Thank you to all of you lovely people. I'll take this opportunity now.
So coming back to the social media part, right? So do you feel like looking at the numbers sometimes, right? And obviously, I know you're the same as me. You don't really look at the numbers. You post something, and then if it blows up, awesome. If not, whatever, right? You have that. You always have that mindset too. But sometimes when we there's times where we get frustrated. Okay, we do all this, like, where's this taking me, kind of thing, right? And then you feel like, okay, wait, this cover sounds actually pretty good. Like, I did a pretty good job with this. There's another cover of the same song. It's nothing like not even close to this, but has like 20 times more views than mine, kind of thing, right? Then you ask yourself, okay, what am I really doing wrong? Because when we don't get the numbers, it's not obviously because our content is shit, right? So it's obviously it's just not getting the recognition, or it's not being showcased to the right channels.
Right people.
That's what it is, right?
I know there's a whole thing of like understanding Instagram's algorithm and like sitting down to look at the metrics and all of that. And I'm not saying, sometimes I look at it and I'm like, oh, okay, that's it.
Do you ever feel like, okay, man, I did all this. I sang for Iman, I sang for AR, I did this many playback projects, I did so many things. I'm frequently posting something. My following should be past 100,000 by now. Do you ever feel like that?
Yeah, I've had my times, but I've also of course I've had my moments like that, but I'm also, you know how I am, okay? Sometimes I've reached a point where I'm like, I'm creating music that means something to me. If you're going to follow it, then by all means, thank you for being a supporter, thank you for being a follower, right? If it doesn't reach, then whatever. Oh well, we just keep going. But I think also this is where I was actually getting at, not just the frustration part of it. I think what we lack is also the knowledge how to market our content. And being like one person doing everything, it's really hard, right? Like you have to concentrate. Like you have a full-time job. You come back home, you obviously have like sometimes when these exams and tests are there, you need to sit outside of school time, you need to sit and then correct those things. Then you need to sit, create your content. Then you have to also concentrate on, okay, I need to get the video done. Then I think I've been a little better now with like managing my time, and I have people who can like help me with the production side or like putting things together. So it's just finding the time to maybe do everything in one day and you know, kind of batch.
But the
your
tricky part
content.
is obviously here, like, how do I promote my content?
Yeah.
Like, making the content actually for creatives like us, that's the easy part.
Yeah.
Right? But how do we, like, get it to the right people? And I think that is the lack of knowledge.
There's a lot
that we
of
have.
learning that. Yeah.
And we have to, like, keep, like, relearning it too.
Yeah.
Like, the algorithm
I guess
works
the
one way,
algorithm is like.
and then they change it.
Yeah.
அவங்க சும்மா இருந்தோட இன்னைக்கு என்னத்தை மாத்தலாம், okay, let's change this.
இன்னைக்கு ஏதாவது வேலை செய்வோம்னு மாத்தி விடுறது.
And they change something, and then you have to again, like, do something
But
completely
I think
different.
like you mentioned, I am also just exploring new things now and trying new things, hoping that different things will work out for me. But again, a lot of it is just continuously like putting out the content that I think people will enjoy or things that I like creating as well. And
no, when I like see your stuff these days, I feel like you have more support from the other communities than from our own. Now, let's be like very honest, and that's just what it is. And that's the next thing we obviously have to talk about.
கொஞ்சமாக வருது.
Governor.
See, now you understand why we put you in the middle, so you can ஓட முடியாது,
run away.
ஒளிய முடியாது.
Dale modela,
I know, right?
But yeah, see, that's what I see. Like when I see your Hindi covers or the Malayalam ones, right? When I see those covers and I see like the support you get for those in comparison to the Tamil ones, I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Like, why are we not supporting our own girl? Like, what's wrong, right? And like I said, then you see like weird stuff, like the whole CD is like on that content, and everybody comments on that and whatever. And then you see some meaningful, proper stuff. There's like no engagement, nothing. I mean, like, okay, what's happening? Like the same people follow these people as well, and how are they not taking the time to like at least go and press like? Right? Or put like a comment. I think easier செய்து வச்சிருக்காங்க. நீங்க ஒன்னு எழுத தேவையில்ல. கிளிக் பண்ணி தான் தண்டவாளத்துல மூணு
ஆப்ஷன் தரும். ஆப்ஷன் தரும், கிளிக் பண்ணிட்டு போங்க.
அத கிளிக் பண்ணி போட்டு போனாலும் easy, right? But I don't know why our people are like really lazy when it comes to that. Another thing, this is why I'm going to transition to.
அப்படியே போறதுக்கு முதல், do you go and comment on other people's videos and like share? சும்மா இடையில ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுங்க.
எந்த ஒண்ணா நீங்க கமெண்ட் பண்றீங்க? I'm just kidding, she does.
I do.
I know you do. I'm just kidding.
சும்மா இடையில ஒரு நீங்க சீரியஸா போயிட்டு இருந்தீங்க, கொஞ்சம் ஷிஃப்ட் பண்ணுங்க.
சீரியஸா போயிட்டு இருக்கேன் because யோசிக்கிறேன் என்ன
அடுத்து என்ன கேட்க போறானோ ஐயோ. Yeah. No, see, Luksimi was always, and this is something you can ask him. See, he doesn't know this. Like I said, our podcast is always like planless. Obviously, we know who our guest is, and we prepare. Obviously, okay, who's this person? What has the person done? And most of the people I have a personal relationship, so I don't need to prepare. It's always him who has to do some groundwork. But yeah, you can ask him. There's like other random episodes where this came up. So we had like a whole series of episodes like about the business side of music, and also like for him film and stuff like that. So how do you build the business the right way? How do you promote and market your stuff and those things? So what challenges do we have? And then we talked about like messed up clients we have and stuff like that, right? So under idula kadai kekla, I brought this up as well. I said Luksimi was always an awesome singer. So a bunch of other singers here that were already like awesome singers and have been performing with other playback singers already. When they were just in the city, they were not out there. So now the recognition was not there at that time. So no one was like, oh, Luksimi andha mari oru paadagi, or we have to support her. No. But all of a sudden, Sindhura comes on, became like a global hit. And it's honestly speaking, like, people correct me if I'm wrong. You can comment in the comment and let me know. But Sindhura is one of the Iman's biggest hits till date. Right? When you look at the numbers, okay, what songs have like the most views and stuff like that? There's only like 2-3 that are in that range. And one of the biggest hits that he has is obviously Sindhura, right? Yeah, we have Carnatic and stuff like that as well. But what I'm trying to say is like over composers or hit song list on irukku. Adala one of the top songs for Iman is definitely Sindhura, right? And you had the privilege to sing that song and also make that a hit song for yourself, right? But and the song vanda piragudan, and then like India started talking about Luksimi. Like any news channel, any music channel came out with like, oh, this Canadian singer from this Canadian from Canada. This singer from Canada. That's what I wanted to say. And they called you like a vocal powerhouse. They called you like
the girl who sang Sandura.
Yeah, or like the Sandura girl.
The Sandura girl.
That was my name for a little bit. Like people did not
I still have little ones calling
this
me that.
girl's name is Luksimi.
Yeah.
That's Sandura girl.
Yeah.
Where is she?
I googled your name just to. I usually do that before interview. I just googled it. There was an article. Literally, that was the title.
Yeah.
The
I
Sandura
think
girl.
that's where that name came from. I think it was the Hindu.
Yeah,
right?
the
That
Hindu,
is
yeah,
where
yeah.
that name. Yeah.
So அதெல்லாம் வந்த பிறகுதான் all of a sudden like Toronto woke up and all of a sudden they knew who Luksimi was.
But she's been there for
She's
a
been there
long
like
time.
since a little kid. She's been singing and then she's been doing her thing, and she was already, and it's not like the Iman taught her all of a sudden how to sing and she became like overnight the best singer.
Yeah.
She already had the talent, and he saw that and he called her and said, please sing my song.
But I think
That's
Sir
it.
also gave me the, like, you know when they say the right time, the right moment,
Yeah.
something will come, right? He gave me a song that kind of brought the best light out of it.
It's like the missing puzzle. You know, you're looking for it and then
but
it
now
fits it.
everyone wants that.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm working on projects and they're like, "La Sandura madri." I'm like, no, that is Sandura.
Yeah.
அதுவா அமையணும் நீங்களா force பண்ணல
It's like let's do it in that key.
Yeah.
No.
So where I was getting at is like how people have to start recognizing the talents for what they are, not wait for who did they work with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I can't take like a shitty singer from Toronto and pay Rahman sir like a shitload of money and be like, okay, you know what? I know this person is not talented, but please make this person sing. Somehow you can make it happen. Money talks, right? So I'm not implying, okay, he will say yes.
Works,
no, what I'm saying is no, it can work. What I'm trying to say is you can make it work. Not Rahman sir, not him, but there's other producers or other music composers. You can make it happen, right? End of the day, they will figure out a way. Okay, how can I make this person shine with whatever talent is there? And then obviously the city now all of a sudden will wake up again and say, oh yeah, எனக்கு அப்பவே தெரியும் இந்த புள்ள நல்லா பாடும்.
I was just thinking that back of my head. Yeah, I know her.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I think our community, yes, there was a lot of recognition and support after Super Singer. I mean, after Sandura. But what boggled my mind a little bit was, oh, but you weren't on Super Singer.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like I didn't meet your
standards,
level of success because I wasn't on Super Singer.
So they have a certain stage you have to complete to achieve
or
that.
Like I think Iman sir had it was Iman sir's like birthday special or something. So I was in Chennai and I got invited as a special guest or just like to say a couple of words about Sir.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you went there, but you didn't sing in the competition. What happened?
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
Like, guys, she was invited as a special guest at the show, so
Sure.
she
No,
doesn't need to be.
I'm not saying it like that, but like you get what I mean.
I'm saying it. I didn't say you said it. But the show where people want people to appear for them to recognize their talent,
and
they
of course,
invited you
like,
to come there.
We
So-
have so many singers who went from here, and I'm not saying that it's not a tough journey. Like to leave your life here, go and train and fight in all that competition, right? They're saturated in music and musicians there, right? And I don't know, I get it, like you have achieved something, but if that is the standard, then, you know, we have so many indie artists who are doing such an amazing job, and we have so many artists who are just exploring the music space and putting their, like, even taking that initiative to put your content out there. Like, I think we need to start supporting that, because if we don't support our
But
own,
that's literally like our generation is that can make the change.
Yeah.
Like our parents' generation, we can't change them anymore.
Yeah.
Right? For them, it's like, okay, இது எங்கட பிள்ளை என்ன விஜய் டிவில இருக்கு இது அந்த மாதிரி பாடுது அதே பிள்ளை 20 வருஷமா பாடிக்கொண்டிருக்கும் 10 வருஷமா பாடிக்கொண்டிருக்கும் ஒருத்தர் கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாது. So we have to look at the facts, right? So if someone is talented, okay, that person doesn't need to be on Vijay TV. Like support the kid from here. Right?
Because before even you sing Sandura, you were singing the same way, like in sense of how he recognized you. The reason he recognized you because you were singing like
and
that.
like how many performances have we done weekend after weekend?
Exactly.
We all go together and gig,
but you need to be somewhere on a Indian television for your payment to go a little more up, reasonable.
Wow. Okay.
Right? But you don't just get a thank you or like $50
for your troubles. Here, $50.
You know, gas காசு அப்படி இல்லாம it's like finally you get some compensation, and then அதுக்கும் நாங்கள் ஆஃப் கேமரா அதை பற்றி காய்ச்சி சிரிச்சுனாங்க. இட்ஸ் லைக் பேமெண்ட் கேட்டாலும் அதுக்கும் இந்த விசத்தனமாக சில பேர் காய்ப்பாங்க. இவள் இவ்வளோ காசு கட்டுவேன், அவள் இவ்வளோ காசு கட்டுவேன். ஐ ஹியர் தட் so many times. ஸோ இந்த சிங்கர்கிட்ட கேட்டுனாங்க இவ்வளோ காசு, ஏன் இவ்வளோ காசு கேட்கணும்? இட்ஸ் லைக்
I think there's like
what has the
rumors.
person
I'll clarify some rumors right now. There's some rumors traveling around that I asked for thousands and thousands of dollars. I had no idea.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh.
Right?
But you should.
But like I hear it and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And so I guess like a lot of opportunities have been missed or lost because of rumors that have been being spread on my behalf.
Yeah. But let me put it out. So you guys invite super singers here who have no playback to their catalog, right? They just sing songs of other people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're like bad singers or anything.
No.
They're amazing singers, and some of them are like way better than some playback singers out there. That is all there, but they are only recognized because they made it to Vijay TV. So you spent so much money on them. Like you have to book a flight for them. You have to book a hotel for them here. Then they need to be fed. Then on top of that, the artist payment comes there. So you spent like $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 on a person, but then you have
so
a
many
homegrown talent who
yeah.
achieved the same thing or even something bigger, because those super singers, what opportunity are they waiting for? To sing for one of these
Movies.
Music directors that you have sung for already,
Yeah.
for example. So why can't Lakshmi ask for $1,000 or $2,000 for a show? If you make $100,000 with the show, why can't you pay Lakshmi $1,000 for that?
There we go.
Right?
Rumor ummaya kyaach.
Yeah. Yeah. No. What I'm saying is,
honestly speaking,
she's not aware of that this happened, but some people, not specifically you, I heard like வேற
lot of
singers எல்லாம்
people.
எனக்கு வந்து சொல்றேன், நான் இந்த ஷோக்கு புக் பண்ண கேட்டு நாங்கள் இவ்வளோ காசு சார்ஜ் பண்ணேன். The only thing I say is, so you bring another playback singer and you're willing to pay $5,000 or $10,000 for that person, for them to come, and they demand also, I only stay in this hotel and now I will only sing 5 songs or 6 songs, and you're willing to pay them that much, and these people ask you for fraction of that, and you can't pay, and then there's no other cost too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for their food, you don't have to pay a hotel, you don't have to book a flight or anything. They're already here, like freaking pay them. Like what's the problem? Right? So, and these are the things that need to change. And I think these are the things also, like a lot of artists have to come together and address. And you know, in India a lot of things work easily because there's unions for these things, right? There's a union for singers, there's a union for musicians and actors and stuff like that. So obviously when you're unionized, you can demand a lot of things. But you know it, like for example Prabha and me, we tried to put that together multiple times and horribly failed, because if you come together as a union, then there has to be like a structure of payment. So this has to be a minimum a singer should be paid.
Yeah.
So not everybody will come in there because they know they won't fall in that margin.
Yeah.
So they always charge less than that, because that's how they snatch the opportunity away from someone else.
Exactly,
Right?
yeah.
So they want agree and come to that, because if like an A grade singer charges $500 and the B grade singer has a charge the same thing, and the C grade person has to charge the same thing, who's going to get less opportunity? So obviously they will not agree.
Yeah.
They want to try to like come around and be like, okay, hey, I'm not going to charge 500, I'm only going to charge 200.
Yeah.
Right? So, and that's
They'll be
where
like, okay,
where
நாங்க
things get
ரெண்டு
screwed up.
singers எடுக்கலாம் அந்த பிரைஸ்க்கு, right?
அதுதான் பிரச்சனை.
Yeah.
Right? So when we have people like Lakshmi or like Magisha, like Sarika, there's a bunch of people I can name, but these are people I closely work with and I know them since they're like little kids. So that's why I mention frequently these people. But when we have singers like that have achieved so much in the field, we should give them the right recognition, we should give them the right compensation, and no one should like shit talk that, right? Like,
and I think like we are so in awe when we see those role model singers have like their independent sets and like how they perform with their dancers and things like that, and there's so much caliber here, there's so much talent here within like the musicians, the dancers. It's like the dance scene is popping right now, right?
Exactly.
And like with the singers as well, it would be so nice to see that in Toronto, right?
I mean, these are the things we have to speak about. So because a lot of people just don't know this, because when you book playback singers for shows, like if you have like Srini sir, for example, or you have like Vijay Prakash, or you have Carnatic, and these people know the singers here, they request they ask who are the female singers that are going to be singing with me, and they will know, I want Magisha there, or I want Lakshmi there, or I want Sinmayi there, I want Jessica there. So they specifically ask for certain people that are here where they know I can comfortably perform with these people, and I don't need to worry about my part will sound good and the other part will sound shit. So when they recognize a talent here, it's just sad to see when the community doesn't support you the same way.
Like people from outside, they're recognizing people and see.
Or like it's nice. It's heartwarming when I go to India and they know you by name or like by what you are doing, right? So if they know there, like on the other side of the world, like why aren't we doing that here?
Exactly. But நாங்க அந்த இந்தியா மோகம் பிடிச்சு அங்க இருந்து யாரும் வந்தா தான் உங்களுக்கு அந்த சாப்பாடு சமைக்கும். Right? So காலால வந்து இப்ப இந்தியால இருந்து யாரும் வந்து பாடினா தான் நாங்க சாப்பிடுற சாப்பாடு உங்களுக்கு அடுத்த நாள் சமைக்கும். It's not gonna work. Right? India thing is மட்டுமே செய்தா it's like because that's what people ask too, right? It's been like that for years, and this is something I'm getting
or
pissed
like that
about.
culture of singing during dinner time. Yeah.
ஆனா இந்த 10-12 வயசுல நாங்க ஒரே விஷயத்தை தான் கத்தி கொண்டிருக்கிறோம். அது மாறுற மாதிரியே தெரியல. Right? It's like ஒரு விஷயம் செய்ய போறோம்னா அப்ப யார் இந்தியால இருந்து வரணும்? இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி நடக்கும் போது அடுத்து யார் வரணும்? யாரை கூப்பிடுறீங்க? Okay. All right. ஆனா அது இப்ப மாறி ஷோஸ் மட்டும் இல்லாம அது இப்ப கல்யாண வீடுகள் சாந்தி வீடுகள் எல்லாம் இப்ப ஆர்டிஸ்ட் கூப்பிட தொடங்கிட்டாங்க. Right?
Wow.
So அப்படிலாம் நடக்குது இப்ப. So yeah. Maybe you have to just move to a different country and then people
and then people appreciate me for who I am. Well, it's funny because when I'm not here is when everybody calls you, right? Me. I'm like, I'm not here, guys. But Adilayam, it's like, oh, she said no. I'm not here.
They don't say, oh, she's out of town. They'll be like, oh, she said no.
She said no. Wow.
She's a Sendura girl. I even asked, like, I think it happened twice. I was like, someone asked for your contact for the show, and she's like, oh, I won't be here, Stephen. I'm in India right now. I'm only going to come after the summer. And I tell them, and then they go so on to someone said, oh, Lakshmi Dakar now Ilyan Solita.
She said
Ilyan Solita with like she has head weight.
So
they don't say like she was
she's a Sendura girl, so she doesn't sing for in the show.
No, the girl
she has too much Sendura. Okay, I think we should stop the bitching a little bit now. You just keep it very raw. That's what the podcasts are about, right?
Yeah.
You don't really like sit and edit.
So you mean like you say bad words and stuff on the podcast?
I frequently said shit. I said bitching.
Imagine I have to find that and edit it out.
The only thing I don't say is the F word. I don't drop the F bomb. I think that happened a couple
once
of times.
Say, yeah.
No, whatever.
Did you let it go?
Yeah.
Oh.
You just have to like mention it in the podcast when you upload it that it's
not PG-13.
Explicit content.
Yeah.
அவங்க அதுக்காண்டி பாப்பாங்க என்னடா சொல்லி I think there was one podcast we released it like that. ஏதோ ஒன்று சொன்னது அதை மாத்திரம் கட் பண்ணி போட்டு I said, what was that?
I said for something, I said, it was like a conversation like this too. Sometimes gets frustrated. I said, I might as well go into the porn industry and start doing music there. And then for the promo, this guy just cut that and put that. And that has like the most views and stuff.
Really?
Because I said something with porn, right? So people are like, oh, Steve, porn up. Like, what the fuck? That's why நீங்க இருந்தாலும் பேச porn industryக்கு போனவங்க you make more money and music செய்து நீங்க அதை film பண்ணீங்க.
Imagine. சரி பட்டி இதுக்கு வர வேண்டியது நினைக்கிறேன்.
Oh man. Okay.
நன்றி வணக்கம். Yeah.
அப்படி ஒண்ணுமே நடக்கல அப்படி ஒண்ணும் சொல்லல. Alright.
Oh, இதெல்லாம் roll பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கு.
He already like went
to press it,
the next part.
But
okay.
Lakshmi வச்சு என்னலாம் கதைக்கினா.
We finished at bitching, innit?
Yeah. I'll continue on.
Yeah. All right, Lakshmi. Let's get back to business a little bit.
A more positive light.
Yeah. But I mean, we need the negative too.
Yeah.
Negative தான் இவங்க சந்தோஷமா பாப்பாங்க. பாசிட்டிவ் மட்டும் காய்ச்சா என்னடா எல்லாம் நல்லதாவே சொல்றாங்களே விட்டுட்டு போயிடுவாங்க.
So negative என்று சொன்னபடியா I wanted to ask this question earlier because you mentioned, that's why I remember you said, some songs that you sing that never makes to the final cut. அப்படி ஏதாவது songs?
Oh yeah.
சொன்னத பார்த்தா
are you allowed to mention?
பெரிய ஒரு லிஸ்ட் இருக்கு.
I don't know if I want to.
Okay, you don't want to.
If you don't want to, it's okay, but if it's okay, this is open space.
I don't know if I'm allowed to.
But it happened though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's especially recently, it's actually very heartbreaking, but
yeah. Okay.
it's okay. It happens.
Yeah,
the
it happens.
The song is released, like movie wise.
Yeah.
Is the movies released and
Yeah.
stuff recently?
Yeah.
Come on, search.
என்ன படம் கடைசியா வந்து-
இதுல எல்லாம் female songs. Yeah.
But that's something you spoke
Yeah.
about earlier too. That's an
But
unfortunate
I
part.
think that's the mindset you have to go with when you're
Yeah.
going to do any film work, right? They'll call you into the studio sometimes. I don't even know like what film it's for, who the actors are, anything. You just go in.
Yeah.
They'll give you the lyrics, they'll give you the melody. If it makes it, it makes
Yeah.
it. If it doesn't,
Mostly the singers only know when the movie is released, okay,
Yeah.
if their song, their voices in that song or not.
yeah.
That's why I
Actually,
wanted to-
even for Sendura, like we blindly just went,
Yeah.
right? It's like I got a message from Iman Sir's account. I didn't even know if it was Iman Sir, but it was verified. And
Yeah.
thank God I had a conversation with him over the phone. So it's like,
Okay.
okay, I know it's
He's-
Sir.
he's
I can
legit.
trust him and go.
Yeah.
But a lot of people in Chennai were saying, because I don't have anyone like family wise or friend wise at that time especially who were in the film industry, so they're like, don't have such high hopes, it's your first song, it might not even make it. So then Amma and I were talking and we're like, just do the best you can. If it comes, it does. If it doesn't, then you take it as like a learning experience. You say you did this. I guess it
Was meant to
worked
be,
out.
right?
Yeah.
So do they like? So they don't tell anything what movie, who's hero.
I mean, sometimes they will brief
like the
you
situation
and say,
where the song is gonna come. Yeah.
And sometimes they'll brief you, sometimes you don't know.
You don't know,
right?
yeah.
They'll just take a song and then you're like, oh, it's for this movie. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of
Right.
the times they're not allowed to say it too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
There's those NDAs that come in
Yeah.
clutch.
So you can't say any of the song.
Look how he's still trying to.
I just want to know. I'm just curious.
No, I don't know. I genuinely don't know if I can share.
Okay.
Nah, yeah, then
Alright.
don't.
Then don't.
We don't
Yeah,
want to.
yeah.
We don't
Because
want
we don't want to lose it
get
because
you in trouble for that.
then they're gonna sue our show. ஏற்கனவே
Yeah, it
தங்க அறுந்து தொங்குது show sue பண்ணாங்கன்னா முழுக்க கொடுத்துட்டு போக வேண்டியதா. Yeah.
No, but there's many songs like that. Many
Yeah,
singers
yeah, no.
like ஐயையோ ஆனந்தமே வந்து சாய் சரண் பாடினது.
Yeah.
But the producer wanted more established singer, and that's when Hari Charan sang it. So அப்படி நிறைய பாட்டுகள் இருக்கு.
I don't even think it's like established or anything now. I think
Now it doesn't. It's not like
it's
that.
a lot
Yeah.
of like your social media presence or like how many other things you are doing. Like there's a lot of other factors that come into it now. It's
That's
not
true.
just
That's
like
true.
your voice
Yeah.
or whether you have a talent or not.
Yeah.
Especially with like technology and its advances.
Yeah, even for
Right.
the actings wise as well, when they pick some certain actors and stuff, you only see them doing TikTok and stuff
Yeah.
like that because they have that.
But
that
you have a
community.
following, you
Yeah.
have a presence, right?
Yeah,
So
they
people
will
will
like-
watch the movie for
that
Yeah,
person
exactly.
or
Yeah.
for that. So they
Yeah.
try to bring more people. So
Yeah.
that's the.
For AR sir, was it Menasalaitan that Anirudh sang? Was it
I can't
Menasalaitan?
remember.
Which one?
So it was one song that Anirudh sang for AR sir, right?
Oh.
But that was changed like pretty much a few days before the movie released. And initially Vijay Prakash sang the song.
Oh.
Yeah. Aila vanda oru part, right? So I think it must be Menasalaitan. I'm not sure if that was the title, but yeah. Anyway,
Right.
so one of the songs in I was sung, came out in Anirudh's voice, but it was initially sung by Vijay Prakash in Tamil. But they changed
so,
it like
so
last
those
minute.
are the things that I keep like if it happens to
Yeah.
such an established singer,
Yeah.
like we're still growing or
Yeah.
like exploring,
Right,
right? So
right.
anything can
Like anything can happen last minute. They will just replace you for whatever
Replace.
reason,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Because at that time it became a trend that one music director is singing for the other,
Yeah.
right? So then they were
Oh,
like,
yeah. Like a lot of Dman used a lot of Anirudh's voice for
Yeah.
plenty of songs and
Yeah.
stuff. அது ஒரு
Yeah.
trend ஆகி போய் கொண்டிருந்தது.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think now it's even harder because we have actors singing for their own movies also,
True.
yeah.
True.
right? So it's
Yeah.
it's like a battlefield.
And that's why the playback singers are going into independent music, which leads us to the question:
வேலை நடந்துட்டு
என்ன
இருக்கு.
செய்து கொண்டு இருக்கிறீங்க?
வேலை
Currently என்ன செய்து கொண்டு
நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு. That's
good, good.
That's
Yeah.
good. Okay.
How many songs are like done and
There
loaded,
are.
7,
There
ready
are.
to go?
I'm not saying numbers.
Okay.
I'm not saying
Ooh,
anything.
okay.
Because that can
But
always
I'm
change.
hoping exactly. But I'm a big believer in like protecting your energy and
Yeah.
working in silence.
That's
Not
good.
good.
I don't know.
சிங்கர் சைலண்டா இருந்து என்ன வேற போகுது, நீங்க எப்படியும் பாடத்தானே போறீங்க.
Exactly.
ஐயோ.
No, but I'm hoping I've made some goals for myself that I want to attain,
Yeah.
and I think
And will you sing
2025
this
is
year?
going to be like a year where people are going to see Lakshmi in a different light.
Nice.
அதுக்காண்டி குத்தாட்டம்லாம் ஆட போறோம் இல்ல, like she's gonna
Possible. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't
Anything
know.
is possible.
Anything is possible.
Okay, so we can look forward to some releases this year.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, that's
nice,
good.
nice.
I'm
Okay.
excited. I've been working with some amazing people. I think that's what I'm so grateful for. I've met so many lovely people on the way, and to see how passionate they are about what they do, whether it's music or dance or creating or like filming, that fuels what you have in you, and it always makes you work harder, right? And there's always that hunger to do more. Sometimes it gets exhausting, but I love that energy of being around such passionate people. So
That's good. That sounds
Yeah.
exciting, because that's what I always tell these guys. Like for now, I can say decades.
but I think
Decade
the
of
standard is also, I can be very hard on myself, and I feel like the standard is just being set to a higher bar every time, right? So yes, you can be your biggest critique, but there's also like the level of content that's being put out now, and the songs that are being put out now, and you have to think about so many things like, will people listen to a dual language song, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
I'm in the process of exploring my identity of
She
like
gave
the
away
East
one thing.
meets
She gave away
What?
dual language.
Dual language.
Okay,
Oh, nice.
okay.
Okay.
ஒரு இது தந்துட்டா, ஒரு information தந்துட்டா. Okay.
But it's like, what is Lakshmi's identity, right? She's like born in Canada, raised in Canada, but like my cultural traditional values and like being true to myself. I feel like that is what I'm exploring in my music. So
Okay.
I'm hoping people will enjoy it.
Of course.
I'm sure your
Sure,
fans will
100%,
definitely
yeah.
enjoy it,
Yeah.
and we will as well.
Thank you.
I want to know quick, because you talk about a lot of things about putting content out. Can you share how you process like putting your content? Like, what is the processing period? Like when
Starting
you-
from how do you pick your songs?
yeah, for example. Like
can-
how you said you have this full-time job, you have to
Yeah.
come, and then you have to think about
So
what con-
sometimes you need to follow the trend, right? Sometimes I get inspired by all the lovely artists that are putting things out there, or like I have specific artists that I look up to that are putting out all these beautiful songs that I kind of want to sing. Most of the time it's like, what's my earworm that I am singing all the time, and then he knows I'll sit there and I'll make a harmony to that, or I'll do this, or like, oh, there's like a cappella things running in my head, right? So you kind of, I don't know, I just put together what feels right to me.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
And then how do you get at it? Like, how do you work with whoever you work with?
So
Currently. Why don't you
I
mention
have-
these people?
So
Yeah.
I have two people that I'm currently working with. Chris, he's living in India, and I have Aditya, who's also living in India. They deal with everything I throw at them so very patiently. I love you guys. And I've been working with some other independent artists from our scene as well
Nice.
on my music. So
கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம் வருது போல. Okay.
Independent artists and
it's all
everything.
people that are growing now and that we know, and
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
I mean, leave it at that. It makes,
Yeah, yeah.
makes it more surprising when it comes
Like a
out there, when we
mystery,
see like
yeah.
who is actually a part of
Yeah.
it and stuff like that. Yeah. And then, so the two producers that you frequently work with, you just
Yeah.
mentioned them. So I assume they're also part of your independent journey as well. So that's cool. And, okay. So what else can we expect from you? Like more performances? Is there like, is
I
it,
think this year I'm really focusing on that independent side. But
can we expect like some sort of like a Lakshmi night kind of a thing, like a concert,
I don't know.
release party, something
Release
like that?
party, yeah.
Maybe we'll have a release party. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, maybe, sure.
You should. Because it sounds already like big, so
Yeah.
you should release it in a big way.
Now he's scaring me a bit, but okay.
Well, so that's what I told you earlier. So when we speak about these
Yeah.
things, that's
Yeah,
when you
yeah, yeah.
understand also what you're doing. So
Yeah.
maybe you thought it's
Exactly.
like, I'm just working on some songs.
Yeah.
But now you maybe
like
think
of course
it's huge.
there's so many people involved, so many things that you have to think about, plan.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm waiting for like the right moment, the right time. Yeah. But I think this has also been a year where from last year, it's been a good change where I've been exploring the dance side a lot more. Like continuously training, a lot more performances. I've met a lot of like-minded dance artists or dancers. So a lot more of that this year too.
Because even recently you were involved in some dance production, right?
So in Borderless, the choreographer was Kanna, very talented dancer, and I met so many talented dancers through that experience, and it's kind of like a little family.
That's
and
good.
there are more things coming.
So அப்போ நான் earlier கேட்ட questions-க்கு ஆன்சர் வந்துட்டு பாடி கொண்டாடுவீங்களான்னு ஸோ
அது நடக்கலாம் சில நேரம்.
நடக்கலாம் yeah
I mean music video ன்னு வந்தா பாடிட்டு தான்
like இப்போ இந்த live show அந்த இதெல்லாம் கதைக்கிறபடியா I don't know never know
She already said anything is possible.
yeah
பொறுத்திருந்து பாருங்க.
yeah
பார்க்கத்தானே போறேன் இந்த லக்ஷ்மி நாட்டத்தை.
காமெடியா இருக்காம இருந்தா சரி.
I don't think so. Because what I know about Lakshmi is also this is something I wanted to like just get off my chest as well. Like ever since I know her, she's like which was at some point also super annoying. She's like she is a perfectionist. Like could be like the smallest detail.
And I think
and she will fix
my
that.
producers will agree with that. Like I'm so annoying that way.
Like literally like for when I think back for the competition, you sang Saukiyama Kanne. And then there's like those little sangadis that obviously anyone wants to like get it right. And then she gets it right, and we tell her, me and Prince will be like, yeah, Lakshmi is perfect. 5 minutes later, she'll come in, can you check my song one more time? And then she will like sing it again.
I'll be in recordings with him, and he'll say the takes are fine, and I'm like, no,
okay, let me try it one more time.
One more time. I can.
And she'll actually make me delete it too because she knows I will like keep it.
Yeah.
And temper with it. She will like, no, let me sing it again, which is actually a good thing, right? Because sometimes some people just don't get it, and then when you get the best, you want to keep it, and then let them try another 50 times. And then
but see, when I'm recording myself also, because like to go back to your question, like what's the process and stuff, I sit down and I record alone. I don't know if that's a good thing because I'm more self-conscious.
I think it is
now.
a good thing if you can record yourself.
Yeah, but sometimes when other people are there, it makes me extremely nervous. It's like, oh no, they're listening to me. I don't know what they're thinking as I'm singing, and they're listening to my like raw voice, or like I need to make sure that I'm delivering on part every single time. Right? Especially when you're in India, like you don't know if the lyricist is going to be there, the director is going to be there. Obviously, the composer, like it might be a full studio. And you have to deliver. So when you're recording,
right?
Exactly, right? That's always running in the back of my mind. It's like, okay, should I have chosen someone else instead? So when I'm recording alone, I have the liberty of being like, okay, delete. I didn't like it. Whereas they can work with it when they're doing final production, right?
But I mean, because you're also a voice trainer, so you know what to do. Like when you listen back to your takes, you're like, okay, no, I should have done this a little differently. And then you actually, when you record yourself, you can be satisfied with yourself at the end, even if you record like 10 times longer than you would do with an engineer,
but
for example.
But like a lot of singers that I know, they've mentioned it in interviews, or even when they're talking to me, it's like, when you're sitting alone, it's like you're just constantly re-recording.
I record sometimes the same line like 100 times. This guy something, bro, idha kuda vera illaya.
My poor sister. My sister, sometimes she's like, yo, like when are you gonna stop?
Oh my god,
because you probably do it like late at night too, right?
Because
given your schedule.
You come home from work and you're exhausted, but it's like, okay, I just want to get it done. I've had days when I'm like, you know what, this is not going to work, just like close everything, shut logic off, and be like, I'm done, I'm never doing this again. But then you attempt it with like a fresh mind the next day when you're a little bit more calm, and it's like, okay, it's going to be fine.
Let's do it.
Do you think you will still do the same thing in 20 years from now?
Yeah.
Good.
Knowing me, I think that's just my personality.
Sometimes people say like, okay, I may get tired of it, and I'm not going to do it anymore, maybe, right? But I still answer the same way like I probably answered 20 years ago or 10 years ago. Even I still say the same thing. I can see myself doing this when I'm 60. I can see myself recording the last bit like right before I'm dying. I was like, let me quickly finish this before I die.
But we have so many people that are doing that, right? So it's not like it's not possible, right?
Because all the tools, maybe back in the days, it must be so difficult to show people this is what I can do. Everything,
Look at Raja, sir. Man is like in his 80s and is like still traveling, still performing, and then he's still recording, producing, and then that's just crazy. And I think it's just because he's been doing this for the past 50, 60 years now. And you can't just take that away. You can't just be like, okay, I'm 80 now, so let me.
But like, I think recently I was watching some performance videos of like Asha ji, and she was singing, and she had movements in there too, given her age.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, she's in her 90s, right?
Yeah. So if she's doing it, why can't I? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they are also from a complete different era, right?
Yeah.
So now we have this whole thing. You're a performer or you're a recording artist or whatever, right? But they had to be everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They can't
like
be
you
just
had
one
to
or
be
the other.
good at everything.
Everything, இப்ப நடிக்க வர்ற ஆட்கள் கூட they want to be a singer and stuff like that, because like you said earlier,
it's so competitive. It's like what is your X factor? What can you bring to the
why
table
should choose you over them nowadays?
And I think that can be stressful as well, because it's like, where do I focus? Or it's like, okay, within the short period of time I need to be able to do this and this. Yeah,
because now there's again a lot of restrictions as well, because a lot of the composers now, their music directors, they're frequently like traveling for concerts and stuff.
Exactly.
And if they want to take the original singer, they need that person to like run around, do some crazy stuff on stage and then perform. They don't want someone to just come walk to the middle of the stage
and just stand there,
pick up the mic and sing and go, right? So, but that was okay back in the days when SPB was performing, when KJSS was performing, when these legends were performing, it was fine because it was just a blessing to see them live and hear them sing live, right? But now you don't want to end more than the
you have to be like that full package, right?
You need to be a performer.
Like people are around, right? So you have to walk around.
So ஒருத்தர் நீங்க நிக்கல, நீங்க ஓடி திரிஞ்சு ஏதோ டான்ஸ் ஆடி you have to perform. So that's like a given. So now I think that the music directors are more cautious about that as well. When they have like certain songs that okay, indala nan concert kondu pona olunga paaduma idu illa, mostly you see they just take like their best people, like who perform well, they take them, and they have to also be versatile, so they can sing all the possible songs, like just like Air Sir takes Jonita for everything. She can sing like the calmest lullaby to like the craziest dance song.
And then she could be like the biggest powerhouse. Yeah.
So she can do like anything, right? So she can sing like a Shasha song, so he doesn't necessarily have to take Shasha with him. Also like cutting costs too, right? If you have one person who can do it all, why not?
I know.
Right? So I think they are more cautious about that as well. So anode neenga கேட்ட கேள்வி சரியா இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். லக்ஷ்மி ஆடி ஆடி தான் பாடுவாங்க.
நல்லா தான். Now that you started like very young age and stuff, so if Lakshmi, let's say Lakshmi is not a singer and is not a dancer, what do you think Lakshmi would have been at this point? Like what else you could see yourself?
Probably still a teacher though.
It's interesting because I went through all these phases in my life. It's like I want to be a lawyer, I want to go into medicine.
Nice.
But like I've had those thoughts in my mind, but at the end it always came down to music. Like that's what I love, right? And when I started teaching, I thought, okay, I want to be a music teacher. Like that's it. That's where it's going to be, right? But then I got into the schools and you kind of see the scene, and then COVID happened. There were frustrations with that and limitations with music, and I'm like, no, what if I had my own class, right? You had like a set of kids that you built a relationship with. Yeah.
So this is அதுக்கு அங்கலாம் வந்துருவா
திருவி
yeah, so you can't take the music out of it. That's literally what it is then.
And I think there have been experiences where sometimes you like, I think like, is this worth my time? Or like you've been beaten in so many different ways, so much discouragement or so many failures, but if you really love it, I think you will kind of go past those obstacles and just do it.
I know quite a bit of the challenges you went through, and then also like the setbacks she had to go through caused by other members of the community, and that's why I spoke so much about the community earlier, because people are ready to push you down and hold you down rather than elevating you. And and that's obviously another trait we have to learn to cope with that somehow, right? Not to like, let it get to you.
I think the younger generation is doing such a good job of like promoting each other or like being that positive figure.
And engada age la sari, but ungada we are like 10 years apart, so obviously but it's
Yeah.
similar
Yeah.
how the mindset of our age groups are. They watch everything, but they don't go like it or they
Yeah.
don't go comment on it.
Yeah.
ஆனா எல்லாம் பாப்பீங்க. இப்போ நீங்க எங்கேயும் ரேண்டமாக போனாலும் உங்கள்கிட்ட இது பார்த்தேன்.
Yeah.
நீங்க பார்த்துனீங்க.
Yeah.
இப்போ எங்கே பார்த்துனீங்கன்னா ஃபேஸ்புக்கில்.
Yeah.
Okay. Then other people are, your last post on Instagram is sick, bro.
Yeah. It's
Like,
like,
I
what?
never seen you on my
Yeah,
freaking profile.
yeah.
Right? But they come and they creep up on your shit and
Yeah.
watch everything, but they don't comment or like and stuff.
I had
but the young
actually
generation is
a
completely
lot of people like that, like, oh, I don't know, you do cover videos and the music video, the Kadesiya Pota
Yeah,
videos,
yeah.
and they were like, oh, we watched that was so good. I was like, huh? நீங்க பாக்குறது. I literally had that moment. I was like, நீங்க பாக்குறீங்களா? I was like, yeah. It's like, liking on the comment.
இப்போ லக்ஷ்மி சொன்ன மாதிரி இப்போ யங் ஜெனரேஷன் பார்த்தா அவங்க அந்த குரூப்புக்குள்ளேயே தொடர்ந்து எல்லாரும் தங்களோட கான்டென்ட்டுக்கு லைக் பண்ணுவீங்க, இது பண்ணுவீங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுவீங்க,
put it on the stories and stuff like that.
And it's
Yeah, I seen
beautiful to see
that.
that there's like a genuine support for people's content and stuff.
And
right?
recently I had like an eye-opening experience. Like a student in another school, Tamil Heritage Month, I guess they were talking about their idols or like recognizing people in their community, and the fact that someone even chose me and did a whole presentation on my life, I was like,
wow.
oh my
Wow,
god,
that's so cool.
right?
Yeah.
But like again, it's so heartwarming, and like you think back to all the like setbacks you've had, and it's like, okay, you have this one moment to
But these are the moments that keeps you going,
keeps you
right?
going.
Keep it going,
exactly.
yeah, for sure.
Right? So you push yourself. You feel like obligated. Okay, you know what? At
Like
least for that
regardless
person, I
of
need to
what
do this.
happens, right? Like I still have supporters, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna keep doing my thing.
Like, I'm sure in your life, even randomly you have thought, why I'm doing this kind of things, right? So these are the moments you look back, oh, this is why I'm doing,
And
right?
sometimes like Sivana said before, like we don't remember those things,
Yeah.
right? Unless we're like sitting down and talking about it, or like in deep train at that one
Yeah.
day, and it's like, oh, I did have this in my life.
That's what our podcast about. So
Bringing back memories.
yeah. I have a couple of questions and then நீங்க சொல்லுங்க.
இப்போ தொடர்ந்து நாங்கள் தாங்க ஆல்ட்டி கொண்டிருக்கோம். நீங்கள்
நான்
இதாக
இடையில அலட்டுறான் ப்ரோ.
இப்போ நீங்கள் கொஞ்சம் கேளுங்க, ஒன்று கேளுங்க ப்ரோ. டிஃப்ரெண்டாக இருக்கும்.
டிஃப்ரெண்டா இருக்கு.
He asked some like insightful questions. Yeah.
எனக்கே ஷாக்கிங் தான். So I'm sure you listen to a lot of music.
Yeah.
So what app do you use to listen to music?
Okay, people are gonna hate on me. I'm an Apple girl, so I use Apple Music.
Nice.
அதுக்காக Spotify use பண்றேன்னு சொல்லல.
Yeah.
But
I use Apple Music too. So yeah, listen.
what do you
Me
use?
too.
Me
But
too.
but I use the Spotify as well.
Spotify, yeah.
And I use YouTube Music too.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
YouTube Music. And what is the last song you were listening to?
The Weeknd.
Really?
Yeah, I was listening to Cry for Me.
Did you listen to the new Drake album?
I did.
What do you think?
I like it. Why do you
You
not
like
like
it?
it? Yeah. Okay, so this is the other thing.
Yeah.
I think when people think Lakshmi, they think like, okay, obviously they know like she likes songs like Sandura. Other than that, she'll like some like melody. And then they'll look through my playlist and they're like, what is this? Who is this girl? Right? It's like, yeah.
So what is that one song you play on loop? Like, except Chikibuka really, but because you mentioned that, that's
Yeah. Okay, right now everything that's on loop is just like The Weeknd.
Okay.
I have
You
a
plan
lot
to
of.
go to his concert?
I'm going.
Are you
Yeah.
going? Okay, good.
Look at that.
There's no question about that.
I
Is it on
have-
the weekend though?
Is the concert on the weekend?
No, it's not.
It's on a weekday. No, it's on a weekday.
Yeah, it's a weekday.
I have a lot of like listening to a lot of indie music created by like Jonita, Sahi Siva, a lot of AP Dylan right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm like hardcore Punjabi music.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then there's like the K-pop in there. It's like a buffet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but that's good.
My
That's good.
playlist is like, but I get so much inspiration from the different things I listen to. Yeah.
Nice.
So, who's like one of the independent artists lately where you feel that like has risen to the top out of nowhere? That you also recognize, feel okay, this person is actually really good.
Well, I watch a lot of Sahi's stuff,
Yeah.
and like kudos to him.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of amazing music going. And then, like for me, watching Jonita's journey is so huge because she also had like she went to school here and like just her story, and then going through her playback journey, and now she's creating all this amazing independent music. A lot of Janssen's works.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of artists that I'm following, and so proud of the representation that they're giving to us globally around the world, right? So it's inspiring to watch and see all of that.
Yeah.
But all of them have a very distinct and unique factor to them, right? So it's amazing to see.
Yeah, I'm like super happy to see like so much is happening in Canada now.
Yeah.
Because it's been like dead for a long time, and people didn't take like the independent scene as serious here as we did in Europe, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like so much buzz that comes from Toronto, right?
Yeah, and I feel like that's the pressure sometimes. It's like you need to deliver.
Yeah, exactly.
And like he said, because I'm picky and annoying that way. Right? It's like,
Yeah. No, it
pretty
makes sense.
self-explanatory. But
For me, like in recent times, I feel I really like what Subhavin and Vidusan are putting together.
yeah,
for example.
exactly.
And even Vidusan as a producer, he's doing a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, and Subavin's just recent song Triple. It's like so
It's been,
cool
like,
to
blowing
see.
up.
Yeah.
So shout out to the boys.
That's the thing, like இப்போ சினிமாண்டு பார்த்தாக்கள் வந்து like independent, they are equally powerful.
But if you watch their videos, it's like a full-blown production, right?
Exactly, yeah.
But to
Mainstream
say
style.
that you like grew up with these people too here in Toronto, it's such a proud
It's amazing,
moment.
yeah.
But I want to do something fun with you before I let you go.
Nice. அடிவுல போகறியல பாப்போம்.
Okay, I was gonna play like couple seconds of songs.
Nice.
And I want you to figure out what song it is.
What if I don't know it?
That's it.
Then you don't know it.
You don't know it.
And you're just going to
You
play
don't know
that?
it.
Yeah.
Of course I won't play it. People should know that you don't know.
We should have something that every time she get wrong, we put on her face or something.
No!
Yeah, other next time.
Next time, yeah. Fine.
In the pakkame varamate.
Let's start easy then.
Easy. You know, you play only your songs. Mic கிட்ட வைங்க.
Okay. Did you figure it out? You figured it out?
What is that?
Okay, I'll play it on loop here.
What is that?
Yo, let's go. Oh, stopped. Is that someone yawning in the middle of the singing? Maybe it's nie. It's something. Oh,
It's
okay.
a humming that comes.
Oh, okay. I tried to help, but I
It starts
failed.
with the shaker, like, and then a humming comes.
I don't know.
What song?
Is that a Tamil song?
Yeah.
She's multi-language, so. Oh,
I
yeah.
actually don't
No
know.
idea at all.
What is that? Have I listened to it before?
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure you have sung it many times too.
Uh-oh.
Is it a song by Vandana?
No. I'll give you a hint. It's an AR song.
Uh-oh. Let's have a minute silence for Lakshmi.
So it's
Crickets. Watch me know this song
now you know
after
it.
he plays.
I gave it away.
Now you
Anybody got it going say that?
Now she's gonna be like, oh yeah, that one.
Manam parakkalanga.
Melody say.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
That starts with the shaker and then goes to the. How does this humming go? Paadunga. Summa paadunga, summa hum paadunga.
Next
Fine.
song. Da-da-da-da-da.
Adhaan idu.
Oh my god.
Okay, I have one more for you.
He's stressing me out.
Let's
Why?
go.
Okay, அடுத்து இத பிடிக்கிறீங்களான்னு பாப்போம்.
என் இனிய
Nope.
பொன்னிலா. பனிவரும் மலர்வன.
Ah, good job.
Good
You
job.
got it.
I have to know that one.
Okay, so if you don't get the next one, it wouldn't be so great.
Uh-oh. Even Skittles is making noise. Come on, sing it.
Is it Vada Vada for you?
No.
It's an old song, right?
It's an old song.
It's an old song.
And you have to know this actually. No. You actually have to know this song.
That was one of the first songs I sang.
Exactly. That's why I said you have to know this song.
First song.
This is one of the first songs she sang.
There's a competition here called Isai Kuyil.
Okay.
Like very first film song competition that I ever entered. Like until then, I don't think I knew what cinema music was. Like I mean, I would listen to it at home.
Be honest, you only found out because I kept saying you have to know this song.
No.
I had a little
Kamala Hassan like flashback in my head. Okay,
Wow.
Little Kamala Hassan. Yeah. Okay.
Because I know that's one of the first songs she has sung. Because she said that before.
We also didn't have the full recording of that song, so my cousin had to go on to like some children's Tamil radio show and request the song, and then we had to record it on cassette to get the full song.
Oh wow!
Wow.
That is like we went to those extremes to like.
That's how old Lakshmi is. See, she couldn't go to YouTube and get the song.
I was also like 7 years old then. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you got it.
7 years old? There was a YouTube that time?
No.
No, that's what I was going to
Guys, I feel like a dinosaur now. Can you imagine my students listen to this and they're like, there's no YouTube on Miss.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're going to come and be like, oh, are you 50 years old?
They're already like, oh my God, so you're kind of old. I had a grade 8 the other way. I was walking in the hall, like literally minding my own business, okay? It wasn't even a Tamil student, okay? It's like, oh, we found your Instagram. So now I was like, yeah, that's my twin.
Yeah.
Right? Until like one of the other kids was like, no, that's her. And he's like, yeah, I read the Wikipedia page and I saw your age. You're kind of old.
Wow.
And I stood there. I was literally like, what?
How do I respond to this?
Yeah, because I mean, no hate to like the elder community. I love you guys. I don't feel old.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think that's also a musician thing.
Yeah.
Because you always go with the trend and you work with so many different people and then you end up also working with like super young people too.
And like and recently also I've been surrounded by more younger talents or like the following is the younger crowd. So I guess that is part of why I feel that way. Yeah. But also like when COVID hit, I just feel like, okay, we're going to put a break on
aging.
This is where we're going to stop.
Yeah.
So So when that comment came, I was like,
wow.
It's okay. I don't talk about age.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Let's not talk about it.
All right. Thank you for playing this little game. Let's see, I made you remember one of the first songs you sang.
That one and Chittukuruvi Muttam Koduthe.
Oh, yeah.
My mom is obsessed with Sushila Ma. So again, because I didn't know all of the trending songs at that time, it's whatever Amma and Appa were like sing, that's what I sang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the go-to playlist you had.
Amma's playlist.
Amma's playlist.
Crazy. Thank you so much for being here today and sharing all these things with us.
It was fun.
I know I asked some controversial stuff as well.
It's okay.
But you managed well. Without going too much into detail. You let me do that part.
Gotta play it safe. I'm kidding. No, that is not what I meant to do. Okay.
No, I don't want to put you on the spot also, right? But some stuff we need to address that. Yeah. And I just want to make sure people also see, you know what, it's not all like positive. It's not like everything happened overnight and being a musician is a happy life. Obviously, there's setbacks, there's downfalls we have to go through. We have to pull ourselves together sometimes.
And I think more and more musicians are not afraid of actually sharing that now, which is inspiring no matter what level or what stage you are in your life. Just to hear those things is reassuring. So it's nice.
So our production assistant Skittles just gave me the cue that we went a little bit over the time. Yeah. So it's time to say goodbye now. Okay, Skittles. I'm finishing. Here, look. He's here.
He's our production manager.
Yeah. So he gave us the cue. It's time for him to go bye-bye. So it's time to say bye-bye for us as well. So thank you so much again, Lakshmi.
Thank you.
Anything finally you want to say to our viewers and your fans?
Yeah, thank you for always being there as my supporters, and I'm hoping this year's going to be a big year for me, so your support is always much appreciated.
So watch out, check her socials and check out her latest productions.
And keep
Yeah.
following your dreams, people.
That too.
Do
Yeah,
your
that too.
thing,
Yeah.
please. It's not wrong to be a dreamer.
Keep supporting people like Lakshmi so they can follow their dreams continuously as well. And
Nicely said, yeah.
press that like button, press that comment button, and then put some hearts, some emojis. At least you don't have to write any words.
And you know what? That's free. You can do that for free.
Exactly.
You don't have to pay for
exactly.
it. Just
And then
subscribe and follow their
Yeah.
Instagram page.
also go
their
to like
YouTube
Spotify or
channel.
Apple Music, whatever platform you listen your music to, and type in also Lakshmi Siva and also add 1 or 2 songs of hers to your playlist.
List.
This is how you can support people like us, right? So அதில் அது ஒரு few cents எங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கும். உங்களை மாதிரி ஒரு மில்லியன் பீப்புள் வந்து அதை செய்துச்சுன்னா நாங்கள் வந்து ஃபுல் டைமாகவே இதை செய்து கொண்டு இருக்கலாம். ஸோ அதெல்லாம் உங்களோட கையில் தான் இருக்குது. அப்படி உங்கள்கிட்ட வேண்டிக் கொண்டு உங்களிடமிருந்து விடைபெற்றுக் கொள்வது உங்கள் ஸ்டீவ் கிளிஃப்
And AR.
இது குஜாலா இருப்பம்.
Chilla Kadefo.
Say bye, Skittles. All right.
All right.